Hello, this is Anna. Welcome to my channel. The technique I'm showing you today is easy watercoloring for backgrounds. This technique does not take any special watercoloring skills and is so much fun to do. So, let's get into it. I took a background stamp. In this example, I used the beautiful peony cling stamp from Simon Says Stamp. I heat embossed it onto watercolor cardstock using black embossing powder. A heat embossed image is what I suggest for this particular technique. You will know why as we go along. Then I taped my watercolor panel onto my mat because we will be using a lot of water for this technique. These are the brush markers I will be using for this technique. They are from Altenew. I used Rubellite, Warm Sunshine, Limeade, and moss. These water brush markers are part of the Spring Garden set by Altenew. I took my Rubellite markers and began scribbling it onto the watercolor cardstock, just concentrating the colors in the middle of the flowers. I scribbled it here and there, not really taking care of staying within the lines. These brush markers are highly pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. After that, I took the Warm Sunshine, which is like a yellow-orange, and proceeded to scribble it onto the outer parts of the flower, also not really taking care to stay within the lines. Then I took the moss marker, squeezed a little bit onto the glass mat just to get the ink moving. Then I scribbled it onto all the leaves, the big ones and the little ones, also really not taking care of keeping it within the lines. It looks like a bit of a hot mess now, but trust me, this will turn out really beautiful. Then I took the Limeade, which is like a yellow-green, and started to fill out all the empty spaces for the background. Just scribbling it here, trying to fill up any space I could find. Then I took my spray bottle filled with water and Perfect Pearls because I wanted to give this watercolor panel a little bit of a shimmer. I sprayed the panel generously with water. You can see that the colors are pooling up within the heat embossed image. That is why it's so important to use a heat embossed image for this technique. I left the panel to dry, and this is what it looks like all dried up. Then I squeezed a little bit of pigment from each pen onto a glass mat. I took a water brush and picked up the pigment with a brush and started to paint inner parts of each flower. The reason I am doing this is to give further definition to each flower or each image. As you can see, I am just carefully scribbling in, concentrating on the inner parts of the flower. You can actually use different water-based mediums for this technique. For example, you can use your Tombow markers or pan watercolor sets or even tube watercolor. The concept is the same. You apply pigment onto the panel, spritz it with water, then once it's dried, you can pick up more of the concentrated color and apply it to the image. I hope you're enjoying this tutorial so far, and if you do, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Here I took the moss and scribbled it on the inner parts of the leaves, just to give the leaves a little bit more definition, as it was looking a little bit washed out against the background. Then I took the limeade marker and scribbled it on directly onto the panel, just to brighten it up a little bit. Then I left it to dry. This is what it looks like when it's all dried. You can see the shimmer from the spray. I like to splatter some paint onto my watercolor just to give it a little bit of a painterly effect, but this is totally optional, of course. For this, I used the Altenew ink spray in pure white, gave it a real good shake, spritzed it onto my mat, and with a damp brush, picked up the color and splattered it all over the panel. And that's it. This is the finished watercolor background panel. This technique is based on a card that I made a few months back. In this card, I gold heat embossed the image onto a cardstock and used the same technique. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you join me again in the next video. Bye!